Hi everybody, welcome to Line of the Week number 133, Motive Development Using Melodic Rhythms. Let me start with my usual disclaimer. This Line of the Week series is not about memorizing licks. Instead, I'm just trying to demonstrate some concepts by playing examples. So take the melodic rhythm I play later in the video and check it out and apply it to your own music in your own way and give it some time. It takes practice, but you'll improve. Also, as a bonus, you can use your favorite lines that you come up with using these melodic rhythms, and they're great for improvisation, but you can also use them for composition. You incorporate the lines, your favorite lines, into tunes that you make up. The line of the week this week is based on the B section of rhythm changes, so we're all on the same page. Let's go through the chords to the progression. The chords are D7, going to G7, going to C7, going to F7. Here are the chord scales I use. I use the notes from the chord scales for two purposes. One is for a source of notes for improvising, and secondly, to determine appropriate tensions for comping. There's often more than one acceptable scale choice you can make to improvise over a given chord, so I'm just giving you the chord scales I prefer. The chord scales are E flat melodic minor to D melodic minor to G melodic minor to G flat melodic minor. Here's the melodic rhythm I'm using this week. The motif is from Jerry Bergonzi's book, Volume 4, Melodic Rhythms Used with Permission. Here's the line of the week with Guitar Pro backing I use to make sure I'm getting the notes and the rhythm accurate. Let me say a few things about the line of the week. The motif development tools I use usually include an original motif, variation, extension, fragmentation, and rhythmic displacement. Not that I use all these tools every time, they're just available. You can read more about these concepts in Hal Crook's book, How to Improvise. The motifs that I use are from, again, Jerry Bergonzi's book, Volume 4, Melodic Rhythms. Links to the books are in the description. I have no financial interest whatsoever in the books. I just think they're good resources. Let's go through measure 1, where you have the original motif. In measure 2, you've got a rest. Plenty of space is often a good thing. In measure 3, you've got a variation of the original motif, meaning the same rhythm as the original motif, just different notes that fit the harmony. In measure 4, you've got a rest. In measure 5, you've got a variation of the original motif. In measure 6, you've got an extension of the variation found in measure 5, which is just kind of new material that I tacked on to the measure 5, the variation. In measure 7, we've got a fragment of the original motif, meaning an identifiable part of the original motif. In this case, the same as the original motif without the eighth note at the end of the measure. In measure 8, you again have a variation of the original motif. I'd like to also point out the points of resolution of tension by half step, which actually occurs only once in this line. At the point of chord change, it's important to resolve non-harmonic tones, meaning avoid notes or disagreeable tones, by half step to an agreeable note. You can resolve tension either directly, meaning immediately, or indirectly with an intervening note or two, resolving within a beat and a half. For example, at the end of measure 6 going into measure 7, you've got the note B flat under the C chord resolving to note A under the F7. our pitch memory is such that the B flat note, which is non-harmonic to F7, it's an avoid note to F7, needs to be resolved preferably by half step, and so that's what I did in this line. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next week.